Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. What a pleasure to speak to you today. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Welcome.
Huge congrats on the show. Maybe you can just start with a bit of an intro to it for people who say, what's this show all about? What do you say? What's Crongton all about?
Crongton's about the struggles that kids from, I'll say, 12 to 13 go through in the daily life. Everyone has their different struggles. For example, McKay goes through stuff with his mum, Venetia goes stuff with her cousin, and Little Bit goes through stuff with not trusting the right people. I feel like Crongton's to do with friendships and how these different kids handle these adult situations.
And of course, it's based on these books by Alex Wheatle.
Yeah.
Had you already read those? Was that something, were you already quite familiar with this world and with these characters? Or when it sort of landed in your lap, was it something you went back to go and look at?
Yeah, I went when I first got the audition. I researched it and I read the books.
So it's just like as Samson said, when I first got the audition, I had also done the same thing as Samson, and then I started reading it.
I'd read them like a few years ago, but I didn't like realize that it was going to become anything. So I kind of had to reread them to get some like information, I guess.
And I understand it was kind of an open casting call with
Yeah.
this thing that you already had in mind that you would love to do. Was it like a brand new idea to be in a TV show? What was your first reaction when the idea was put to you about auditioning?
So like before, I got many different auditions, but unfortunately, I never like got the chance to be in any of them. And then obviously taking the audition, I really worked hard on it because I obviously knew that it was going to be something big. And then when I did get the role, I was over the moon. I couldn't believe it because this is my first ever like thing. So I've never done any adverts or TV series or a movie. This is my first thing. So like I knew it was going to be my starter.
I was part of a drama school. Well, I've been to a lot of drama schools. I was part of an agency. Just like Noah, I was rejected by a lot of stuff. When I found out about this one, when I first saw the self tape and I read the character, I was like, oh, that's kind of like me. So I made sure that I could try be as much into the character as possible. And then when I got it, I started crying, and I was really, really happy.
And for you, Nielle, was this a sort of new frontier for you?
I've done things in the past. So I've done some like theatre work and some adverts and stuff. I did some like films and stuff, but this is my first series. My agent had sent me some, when she like called me in to say, oh, can we film a self-tape for you? I went in and they got me to read this sheet of paper that said, hi, I'm Nielle Springer and I'm going to be playing Venetia King in Crongton. And then I was a bit confused because I was like, okay. I didn't understand it first, so they asked me to read it again. And then I read it again, and then I was just like, I think I screamed or something, but I was so shocked. I was just really excited, yeah.
Amazing. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about each of your characters. Maybe we start with you, Noah. You know, if you were going to describe him in like 3 words, what would you say? And in what ways do you feel like you could connect with him, or in which ways was he very different to you?
3 words would probably be Joker, sensitive, and a carer. And the way I could connect with him, when I first like saw his description, it matched me like very, very well. So like he was the funny one, he was sensitive about his body and stuff and like about his backstory. And there was many different things. And the only thing I could probably like the differences was probably it's like switched around. So he's got a brother and a dad, and I've got a mum and a sister. It's kind of like that's the only difference. So it's not a big difference, but it's like everything description about him, like personality, it was very close to me as well.
That's great. And for you, Samson, how could 3 words to describe your character and how you could connect with him, or you felt very different?
Well, I'm going to start with the connection. The way I connected to my character, I wasn't really good at art. For example, in my art like lessons, I didn't know what to do. So when I got the character and I saw that he was an artist, I asked for some lessons from a friend. She taught me how to draw, and then one of my drawings ended up on set, and I think it's in the show. I'm not sure. I wasn't really artistic, so I wasn't creative. I had a really big imagination, but I wasn't artistic, so I had to learn to be artistic and more creative. But everything else kind of matches my personality. Little bit, he keeps to himself sometimes, but when he's with his friends, he's like a completely different person. He's small. I'm very small. He has a big imagination. For example, sometimes like there's a whole scene where I imagine Noah, as a whole cowboy, and like it's a whole standoff. It's really funny. If I was to describe my character in 3 words, creative, kind of weird, funny, kinda. He's funny, but he doesn't. He's not meaning to be funny. He's just a funny character, you know? Yeah.
People are laughing with him and at him at times. And for you, Nielle, tell us about Venetia.
So when I first got the role, I didn't see the description, and then I think I just was on social media or something, and it was a video from before the auditions, and it was this is an open casting call, and then it said it described the character, and when I saw it, I just thought it's describing me, and I was I think I ran to my mum or something, and I was oh my gosh, look, they've literally got me. And so when I saw that, I was really excited, really happy. She's quite loud, but she knows when to be quiet. So sometimes when things go wrong with her cousin, she's very quiet and she's to herself, but not in a way that looks like she's sulking or she's angry with people. But then when she's happy, she likes to make the people around her happy. She's very she wants to get her point across, but she manages to do it in a way that can't come across as rude. So, for example, there's a scene where she wants to stop the war between South Crongton and North Crongton. But the way she does that is very fierce and strong. It's still respectful and she remembers who she actually is. And then the last thing I think would be loyal, because she has her girls and she has her friends, her other friends in the friendship group. She sticks with them and she'll never, not once in the whole show does she get into an argument with her friends. She just shows her loyalty, her respect, her kindness, and yeah.
Watching it just feels like you must have had so much fun making it. It's kind of got this unique energy and it's not afraid to be kind of playful and irreverent. It's so colorful and really sort of energetic.
Yeah.
Did you have some favorite moments on set, really memorable bits? Did anything go wrong at some point?
One time when I was in tutoring and everyone else was on set, there was a fire alarm and everyone had to rush out. Yeah, that was funny.
My favorite thing is probably being with everyone and actually filming Crongton as a whole. We've been waiting for so long and we worked so hard on it, and every scene and every minute and every hour that we filmed was probably my favorite bit.
It's not my favorite, but it's something that I'll always remember. So there was something with my boyfriend in the show, and something goes wrong where I sent a picture to him by accident. Oh, he took my phone, got a picture, and it was really bad. And Etosha put spots on my face, made my hair really messy, and she asked me to pull a funny face. And she used the worst one possible, put it on the phone, and when I open the phone for the scene, I just pop up. And we're all crowded around my boyfriend in the show, and I've got Bobby next to me, and then everyone else is surrounded. And as I open the phone and the picture pops up, I can just hear Bobby laughing in my ear. So I'm having to try and not laugh because he's laughing. And then obviously it's a surprise to me, having to hold my laugh in while the camera's literally right here. And then when we came off, everyone was crying with laughter because now everyone's seen this terrible picture of me.
And finally, what do you hope people take away from watching this show? I mean, it is just a lot of fun to, follow the stories of these characters, very entertaining. But, it's really capturing something quite true about sort of both the joy and the challenges of growing up, particularly, in multicultural areas. So, what would be some of the things you'd hope particularly young audiences might take away?
I think what they should take away is, first of all, I think not to trust or hold anything for gangsters, because just don't do that. It's just not worth it. Even if they're giving you money, just don't do it. It's not good. If you watch the show, which you should, just watch the show, please. When you watch the show, you'll see that everything to do with Manjaro goes wrong because it's not a good move. I feel like you should also take away theme of family and friendship, that if you can't trust your parents, go to your friends, and if you can't trust your friends, go to your parents.
So basically, the main reason, just make the right decisions and trust your friends and go to them if you need anything. And also, don't take shortcuts. It's better to struggle longer and earn yourself something that you worked for.
Just be you, like, because if someone doesn't like you for you, well, then that's on them. And for people to remember, like, if they're going through, it's a bit similar to Noah, but if they're going through like a hard time, like, you will get through it. It's not like forever. Do you know what I mean?
Are you hoping there's going to be a next season?
Yeah,
Is that
hopefully.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, can't wait to see that too. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with me. Huge congrats on the show. Can't wait everyone else to see Crongton. And yeah, let's hope for a next season too. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Bye.
So lovely to chat to you all. Thank you.